Hey folks, I got to talk to you about a new arrival we got here at Tow Truck Harley-Davidson. This is called the Softail Breakout. This is something else that comes from those magnificent minds up in Milwaukee who never stop planning the next big thing. And this, in my opinion, is the next big thing. They've been doing this for 111 years, and they don't stop. And that's one of the reasons this motorcycle company's lasted 111 years, because we don't stop thinking. We're always coming up with something new. The Softail Breakout. The one thing you'll notice about this thing right off is how long it is. Look how stretched out that front is. Man, that thing's so far out there it needs its own zip code. It's a 21-inch front tire, alternating spokes. By alternating, I mean chrome, black, chrome, black. Look at the blacked out lower forks. That's a nice touch for a bike with attitude. Attitude? Hey, that's up to you if it's good attitude or bad attitude. Let me show you right here. This is the heart of this beast. This is a 103-inch, that's 1,690 cc's, twin cam counterbalance motor. By counterbalance, what I mean by that, this bike has hardly any vibration in it. Most of the vibration is taken out inside there before it ever gets out. It's physics. It's got to do with wheels turning and it counts it out. I don't understand it. Maybe it's magic. Whatever it is, it works because you can stay on this bike as long as you want to. The wind will wear you, the sun, the rain, whatever, but the motorcycle won't. Speaking of staying on this bike a long time, 5-gallon fuel tank. This thing will get better than 40 miles per gallon. Because when you're on this, you don't want to get off until you're forced to. You see the staggered exhaust width. Once again, there's your black tips. This is the oil tank in here. It's a horseshoe oil tank. The battery actually sits in the middle of that. They don't waste any space here. They're always thinking, what can we do to make this even cooler? Look at the seat height on this. I mean, the seat height on this makes you feel like you're in this motorcycle and not on it. We call it a saddle. Look how well that thing sets. You feel so comfortable. Forward controls, your feet are stretching out. I mean, it's like sitting in a recliner with your feet propped up going down the road. Of course, you're not going to be going down the road at 70 miles an hour. Yeah. Speedo, everything is set right here. You don't have to take your eyes off the road. I mean, it's right here. You can glance right down. Inside the Speedo, it's a very high-tech Speedo. It's got a range indicator to tell you how far you can go on the amount of fuel left in the tank. It's got a RPM indicator in it. It's also got a 2 trip meters and a gear shift indicator inside there. Drag bars, you're setting. Now speaking of drag, this bike was inspired by the old drag bikes of the 1950s and 60s. They called them gasser bikes. That's the reason you feel like you're just sitting and laying on this bike as you're going down the road. The rear end's motorcycle. Look at that. Is that not an eye catcher? That's a 240 18-inch tire, specially made by Dunlop for Harley-Davidson motorcycles. You see that we hid the license plate over here on the side, because when you got a rear end that looks like that, you want to make sure that everybody sees it. We chopped the fender. We actually chopped the fender as far as the law will allow. I mean, like right to the limit. 3-in-1 tail lights. They function as tail lights, blinkers, and of course brake lights. The only people that's not going to like you on this bike is the highway department when they have to come through and repair the roads after you've been through, because this is some pavement ripping tread. Now that brings us around to the left side of this motorcycle, because really the left side, that's where all the action takes place. Belt driven. All of our motorcycles are belt driven. A belt drive transfers the most torque and horsepower to the rear wheel. It's serpentine. It doesn't stretch. You don't have to oil it. In here is the primary function of the motorcycle. This is where all the power is generated. It's chain driven with an oil bath. Now we get back to the attention to detail. Look at that black derby cover. I mean, 103 on it. This is another example of how Harley-Davidson pays such close attention to detail. And look at the tank. The tank with its molten raised cloisonne tank badge. 6-speed transmission, low RPMs. And one thing about this motorcycle too is that the lean angles are equal on both sides. I don't think there's another motorcycle we make that has that. It means that it's just as comfortable going left as it is going right. So this is a comfortable motorcycle, whether you're going down the interstate, whether you're going stoplight to stoplight, or whether you're riding a winding country road. Do we have any of those around here? I think maybe we do. You think this motorcycle looks good and it looks fast sitting here in the showroom? Wait till you get out on the highway. I'm gonna crank this up.